Imagine being in a dark room and there's no way out. How would you feel if the ones you love or care for was kidnapped or later found out something terrible happened to them? Not only long ago, but right now, there's a lot of kidnapping and human trafficking going on. What? What are we possibly doing on stopping those who are to blame for it? Moving forward, it's even hard to even let out their emotions. But I bring to you as within this topic as humble as possible. For this topic can happen to anyone. Why not speak up? Help one another and each other's safety. You don't know how much of a change it will be if we take action. I have witnessed the things many that have been happening to a close friend's family, a daughter, mother, sister. And it hurts to even be the one to be in the position to be close to the ones that it happened to. But it's nothing compared to the emotions that happened to that individual personally. The very much feelings of these people that have suffered firsthand and taken place on progressing, nothing was happening. I want to lure you on to understanding the importance of this topic, explaining that with human trafficking that is taking place as we speak. First, I'm going to open up discussion with the problems, and then explain the causes that led this to happen. And secondly, I'm going to tell you within the solutions and what's being acted upon right now. Let's first talk about who's in danger of this matter. As so, with human trafficking, all women, children, and men are being harmed. For what reasons? Most likely for the benefit for those who are in charge of. Innocent lives at stake, being transferred from time to time for sex, trade, and money. As it says in the 13 Human Trafficking Summers tells the stories, heartbreaking stories, it talks about across as many as 30 million people are currently being held captive, moved from location to location. Within the victims, as many as 17,500 victims are shipped into the U.S. each year. According to the Human Rights First, January 7, 2017, it states that 71% of those trafficked victims are women and girls, and 29% of those are men and boys. As so, let us let the numbers sink in. And mind you, this has been going on for a long time. Within the article, it talks about a woman named Fowler. Within Fowler was sent to her grandmother. Within her story, she had experienced that with her and her father had passed away. Her grandmother had took her to brothel, which is a place they had sexual activities. And not knowing her grandmother's intentions, she was sold for money. The many things within her own blood, to do something to her like that. This is all falling into order because of our lack of discipline, of watch over our children, women, and so forth. It happens right under our nose. And what are we doing about it? Letting it be? Why do the many people have to suffer from this, or even experience firsthand? This is a shame and needs to change. As we see the many things that's going on within human trafficking, I'm going to talk about the very much detail on what caused this to be. According to Should Governors Be Blamed for the Increase in Human Trafficking, November 2018, it states, fourthly, the lack of unity between the governors and other institutions is cause for the rise of this issue. Since there is a lack of national anti-trafficking plans, most of these plans are developed within the perspective of each individual's agency's mission. It talks about how many things the other countries are allowing it to happen and not worrying about what is going on with the people that's experiencing it and going through this process. According to how society promotes human trafficking, it talks about how society is addicted to this disgusting, dehumanizing visual virus, learning that sex is easily obtainable, the compassion and definition of love in the eyes of the human beings. And falling into lust and have tension to fiend on having the mindset on taking advantage of another person. As a researching about this topic, it states that even your own people, such as Fowler experiencing with her grandmother, set you up for human trafficking for need of something valuable. Women's girls are being kicked out earliest age of 11 and falling into the life of prostitution. When it comes to men and boys, is being mistreated and wants to have more. And they fall into drugs and they lose their minds. As we talked about the many causes that led into the problems, we are now going to wrap it up within the solution that is being done right now. That the governor, Senate, has issued a bill on January 2022 about human trafficking, due to the fact that made the governor continue to wipe out the bad and build a solid relationship with the other governors, helping to build a great foundation on keeping our women, girls, men, and boys off the streets, as well as putting them in programs. And we're getting rid of the hotels and companies that is hosting these sexual activities and drug wars falling into human trafficking. We live in a society that is capable of making the change as we work together as one. As we need to put away all those people who are doing these bad things. It's not okay to it's okay to do it within the young people's minds. But they'll grow up and continue to go on the wrong path. So let's continue to encourage and motivate to do better. The many things on people is really loving on their loved ones, on making sure they are welcome and their worth is more than anything. And as well as protecting them 24/7, for we don't know what tomorrow may hold. I have given you guys the many information about human trafficking. May we continue to protect and speak out. This issue is wrong, as well as being safe too. As we talked about what's been going on with human trafficking, and build upon that a new slate on fixing the causes of this situation, on building and having more solutions. I'm going to say one thing. Think about the choices before doing so. And as so, let us continue to be safe and aware of our surroundings and spread the awareness, and may God handle the rest.